Hi guys, German Prepper here. Today I have an open letter for you from one of the top district craftsmen's associations in Germany, addressed to Olaf Scholz, the Federal Chancellor. This letter is incredible, guys, and a political bombshell for the German government. Listen through, it just gets better and better as it progresses. There are so many points for us as preppers to pick up on. Dear Chancellor, first of all, we would like to emphasise that Russia's attack on Ukraine is a clear violation of Article 2 of the UN Charter and is seen and criticised by us as a serious crime. But it is also part of the truth that this war did not start on February the 24th, 2022. However, it is not the purpose of this letter to explain this in more detail. We have legitimate concerns about the future of our children and grandchildren, worries about the continued existence of our businesses, worries about our country. On December the 8th, 2021, you swore that you would avert harm from the German people. We appeal to your honour. Fulfil this vow. As craftsmen, we know from many conversations with our customers that the vast majority are not willing to sacrifice their hard-earned standard of living for Ukraine. It's not our war either. In 2002, your party member, Peter Struck, stated that Germany's security was being defended in the Hindu Kush. No one can doubt that this turned out to be a misjudgment. Is Germany's security now being defended in Ukraine? No, it's the same mistake again, 20 years later. According to a publication by Transparency International, Germany EV, Ukraine ranked 122nd in terms of corruption in 2021. No other European country does worse here. Under no circumstances can one speak of a flawless democratic state in Ukraine. And you want to jeopardize Germany for that? It's rumbling in Germany. Prices are rising at such a pace that average earners will soon no longer be able to make a living. Then even normal, necessary manual work will become unaffordable, which will lead to layoffs and the closure of companies. Do you want to be the Chancellor who ruined Germany? Do you really want to sacrifice your country for Ukraine? Aid packages are put together non-stop without considering the consequences for future generations. It's dizzying to see the billions and billions in debt your government is taking on. Everything, of course, always with a corresponding argument as to why there is no other way. However, you are only trying to combat the symptoms. You are not changing the causes. This is not a sustainable policy. We therefore ask of you, 1. Immediately stop all sanctions against Russia. On March the 23rd, 2022, you declared in the German Bundestag that the sanctions must not harm us any more than Russia. Anyone who looks at the results of the previous sanctions without ideological blinkers will inevitably come to the conclusion that significantly more money has been flushed into the Russian coffers since then than before the sanctions. Europe, and Germany in particular, are the clear losers. Keep your word. 2. Immediately begin diplomatic negotiations to end the war. A realistic assessment of the situation is required. Nobody can seriously believe that Russia will renounce Crimea. Anyone who makes that a condition for negotiations has no interest in an early end to the war. 3. All political decisions are to be checked for the benefits for the German people, just as you have sworn. Dear Chancellor, we address this urgent appeal to you because the situation is very serious, more serious than it ever was in our country after the end of the war. We're not talking about 1 or 2 centigrade less room temperature, or whether swimming pools need to lower their water temperature. We're talking about Germany's death here. Many people in our country recognise that. Why don't you? Recently, our local press reported that fever juice for children is difficult to obtain. We don't think those are the goals of your policy, but it's the effects of it. Change your course, in the interests of our homeland. Wow, guys, there you have it. Incredible. A question for you all now to end. Do you support the German craftsmen in standing up for their livelihoods, their families and their nation? As always, looking forward to reading your answers. Keep prepping, guys. Cheers for now.